Alright, so we are experiencing a breakdown. I'm still moving, but we're heading to a diesel mechanic. I have a red light on, my battery symbol, so either the alternator went bad or something with the connection of the battery, but the battery is not charging. There's no belts flapping around underneath the hood. We're using our solar batteries to get us enough juice. We're down to, what are we down to? 12.3?
12.4.
12.4. Trying to get enough juice to get to this diesel mechanic here in Sweetwater, Texas, where there is not much out here. So I don't want to die in the middle of nowhere on the side of the road. We got 8 miles left. We're going to try to get there and see what they think. Hopefully it's not an alternator, because I doubt whether they're going to have one, and that could mean a long time before they get that in stock. I'll be sleeping on their parking lot. Alright, we just got a couple miles left. I got everything off. I got radio off, fans off. I can't turn my headlights all the way off. I just have daytime running lights on right now. And it's of course raining, so I'm trying to barely use my windshield wipers. And I think we're going to just make it to this mechanic. We'll see what he says and see how it goes. I got 4 more miles. Alright, I've made it to the diesel mechanic, and I spoke to them. And I'm just sitting out here waiting, and we'll see. Just a little while ago, before I got here, though, I was checking the levels on my battery. I stopped, and then boom, all of a sudden the alternator started kicking in. Started pumping out juice, and my battery level went up, but my red light was still on. So I'm not sure if it's like a connection or what. You know, you don't want to just keep driving and then do it again half hour later or whatever. So we're here, we're waiting, and we'll see if we can get in today. This is more like a semi kind of mechanic, diesel mechanic shop. And if not, I'll just be sleeping in their parking lot. I don't care. Alright, so I changed my mind. I left that mechanic shop. I didn't feel very confident. I will talk about that later, but I had enough juice. My alternator started working again. I had enough battery life to make it to a campground, and I'm going to sit here and reevaluate my situation and figure out what to do now. So immediately on the side of the highway, I stopped and checked it and looked underneath the hood, and there wasn't any broken belts, but I'm pretty sure it is the alternator that is kind of going out, and maybe tomorrow it'll be working or maybe not. And here's our view, the beginning of this little lake. There's lots of wildlife and birds. It just got done raining. Had a long day. Alright guys, I'm going to just do a quick update. Sometimes it's kind of hard to record when things are happening and you're trying to pay attention. We're at the campsite here, and I had the alternator or battery light come on earlier on our way here, and then it just miraculously started working again. So I continued to our camp spot, and we've made it here, and not quite sure what to do, but when we head out tomorrow, we're just going to see if it happens again. You know, not really much I can do. I'm out here in kind of the middle of nowhere. I think we're still 3 hours from Dallas. And I can't stop shivering. It's 53, but I'm cold. Sure, I'm gonna work on it again tomorrow. Good morning. Boy, yesterday we had an eventful day. I was like on the edge of being broke down. I was on my way to a mechanic shop, and 1 mile before I got there, it started working. And I went ahead and went in and talked to them and stuff, and I wasn't really confident. I was actually kind of scared. and didn't really want to do that at all. It was more like a big rig kind of shop, and I just, well, you know, the problem wasn't happening. All of a sudden it stopped. So how are they going to fix something when they don't know what happened? So I left. I drove 45 more minutes to my campsite, and today we're going to go ahead and leave out and go a little bit farther down the road and see what happens. See if it comes back on, because once you turn the van off and then turn it back on, the warning light went off. If I get too low on my battery power, I can use my solar batteries to start the van back up. And it is sunny today. Yesterday it wasn't sunny, so I wasn't producing anything. So we're just going to try it. And I'll let you know how it goes. We'll see if it comes back on. Hopefully it won't. Because we would like to be able to get past Dallas, or get into Dallas-Fort Worth today. And if not, I will stop before I get to the city and camp and shorten my day and then reevaluate at the end of the day. That's all you can do. It wasn't a bad overnight place. I think they let you stay 48 hours, and there's quite a few other people here in all the spots. And nobody else is out right now, so I'm letting the dog stretch her legs real quick. And she's very obedient. Good girl. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Okay, it's not on. Don't mind the tire pressure one. Now it doesn't go off. I got new rear tires and I can't get it to go off now. Had plenty of air in the tires, all the tires. Alright, a quick update. This morning we went to leave, and when we started the van up, the light didn't come on, but I checked the alternator and there wasn't any amperage going to the batteries, so we didn't leave, and I turned it off and on, and nothing really changed. It didn't like start working again like it did the day before, and the light would go off after you turn it off, and then it would come back on after a few minutes. So even though when I first started it wasn't on, within a few minutes it came right back on. So I'm in a little bit bigger town than I was before, and there's an actual dealership that has mechanics that have worked on this kind of van before, where the first one that I went to and decided not to do anything there, they didn't really have the experience with this kind of vehicle. So I have an appointment for 8:30 in the morning, and so we're going to stay here another night, and then we will go and hang out at a dealership all day and deal with our pets while they're working on the van. Ugh, great. So we'll check out the little lake here, a little bit of wildflowers, and I think I hear some ducks and birds. But this place just has a 48-hour limit, so we were going to have to leave anyway. And thank goodness it's sunny today, because it's charged my solar batteries up, and that will ensure that I can get the van started in the morning. And I think I have I don't know, 10 miles to get to the dealership. Hopefully I'll have enough juice for it to keep going till I get there. And we'll pick back up when we are there or tomorrow morning. All right, good morning. I am on day 3 here hanging out in the city park, and some things have changed. Decided not to go to the dealer. The dealer wanted $900 to put an alternator on. O'Reilly's, the part is $300. They did not have it in stock, and so it had to be ordered and overnighted. But my last resort was going to the dealership, but then I didn't have enough juice in my batteries to actually get there. It's, less than 10 miles in a town, but I saved just enough juice for if somebody came out here and needed to start it up and diagnose it. Not enough to drive into town. I mean, I just barely got here, basically. So, with this area having a lot of semis and stuff like that, there was more mobile mechanics. Even though I'm not a semi, we finally found somebody that would come out here and look at it, and he did. Alright, so I have a mechanic here that came out, and he is checking it out, checking the connections and the fuses. I'm going to diagnose it before we order any parts. I just had enough battery juice to start it up for him here, but I see warning lights are starting to come on. I think it is going to die any moment, hopefully enough for him to get a diagnosis on this. Now, this morning he is supposed to be picking up the alternator in town and bringing it out here and putting it on. And I will record all of that so we can see how to do it. And he said he's not going to charge nowhere near $600, so I will let you know how much he charges. I mean, he said maybe like 150 or 200. That's like way less, so we'll just see how it goes. But I have overstayed my 48 hours here. I'm on day 3. But I'll try to make it up. I'm going to pick up some more trash and stuff like that, and hopefully I can get out of here today, because it's actually going to start to get really warm. It was kind of chilly, and now it's going to start to get to the 70s, and then like tomorrow 80, so I don't want to be stuck out here in the 80s, but and I need to get going. So hopefully he'll show up, hopefully it'll work, and the part came in and all the rest of that. I'll pick it back up later. I mean, I got a whole huge Walmart bag full of trash. And what gets me is they have trash cans, and people still can't make it. They have to throw it 30 feet from the trash can. Alright, so since I overstayed my limit, I'm finished picking up a little bit of this trash. And there goes my glove. Eating. Oh, look at him. Camera. Let's take a picture. Lots of pictures. Oh, he's running. Oh, his little tail going up and down. Alright, here is our latest update. We had overnighted the alternator, and when it arrived this morning at 8 a.m., it was broken. It was busted. The back box was all smashed, so the guy opened it up, and sure enough, parts fell out. He called around. He had another one delivered, waited a couple more hours or whatever, and it was broken also. So he had called the store and had them actually look on the shelf, and every single one they had was already broken. So had a call to a bunch of other stores and found one in Dallas, Texas, and it's been shipped over here, and he's picked it up, and it's actually not broken. Yay! And he's on his way over here to put it on, and I'll make sure to record that, and hopefully that's what it is, because I've gone through a lot of work just to get it, but I hope it is it.
Different standards on packing. Is all I could think. They're like, sorry. I said, no, you're not you don't have to tell me sorry. I said, I'm not the one stranded. I said, you should be telling your customers sorry.
There it is. So they didn't have this plastic?
Didn't have this plastic on there.
Yeah.
That your original one does, and the new one does. So that makes me feel a whole lot better. You know, they're asking me. They said, "Well, did the old one have the color?" Did y'all get to eat the donuts?
Yeah, we ate a couple of them. We didn't eat all.
It's a pretty good donut store.
Yeah.
Hey, just in case for the winter when there's not too much sunlight out, you set up you don't have a shower set up in here, do you?
No, I do it outside. I have. Yep, my numbers are zipping right up. I'm up to
Yep.
13,
14.3.
13.5. Yep.
14.3, you're good.
All right, I'm gonna turn my switch off. I don't need these charged.
Okay, you turning it off now?
I turned it off
Okay.
so it doesn't, so it can just work on that battery.
Yep, that's it. It's good.
Awesome.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Yep, and see all those warning lights went off now.
Yeah, yeah.
That was because it was done. It was on its last leg. Not sure if I'm even on the right side of the road. Some donuts.
God bless you, man. They ain't even open, is it?
No.
Hey, I don't know why they ain't open.
Yeah. I don't know.
You got two of them over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look over there. Have a good day. All right, so the van is all fixed. It was the alternator, and we're gonna stay at this Walmart for tonight. We just got on the other side of the city after we got groceries, and we're wore out from another long day. But would you believe it? He only charged me $100. That's right, $100 is all he wanted. I, of course, gave him a nice tip because that was crazy cheap for him coming out to me at the campground and fixing it. Got some neighbors. Not very fancy for our still camping mode. This is all it is. So we were able to get the van back on the road with minimum cost, and we had to make quick work of the state of Texas and into Arkansas because we need to get back into the Midwest. So as always, thanks for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already.